Hello and welcome to the now 19th episode of the Bunker to Bunker podcast. It seems like every week my background changes, and hopefully this is for the next couple episodes. Finally moved into my new place for the next 6 or 7 months, so I guess this tree thing is is the best that I can do in the future. But Josh, how are we doing? Coming off of a little bit of time since we spoke last, 2 or so weeks, but lots been happening in the golf world. So I'll let you just kind of take it away. Say whatever you got to say.
Yeah, I found this hat today. This little
Did you? I
Masters
like
hat.
that.
Yeah,
I
no,
like that.
I knew
Yeah.
I knew I knew I found it at my home in Philly, and then
Uh,
I brought it here. Didn't know where it was, and it just kind of just magically appeared this morning when I went on a walk and ran some errands. So maybe some good vibes
yeah.
for the episode. But yeah, it's been kind of slow with golf. However, it's going to pick up. I feel like there's been
Hmm.
a lot more news off the course than on the course. But I think we should probably jump into what has been happening on the course quickly before we hop into the
Yeah.
off the course stuff.
Let's
And
do it.
that is we had Max Homa win the Nedbank Golf Challenge, fending off European Rack Cup winner Nikolai Højgaard and fending off one of his best friends, Justin Thomas. So this was interesting because they played it in Africa at the Gary Player Golf
Hmm.
Course. Yeah, Homa won. I think he was down early and kind of came back. I saw that his wife like posted on Instagram that she like magically just woke up on like the 18th hole when he was on and he like won. So pretty good timing by Lacey. So I just wanted to give kind of I didn't really watch much of it because of like the time difference. And basically because of that. But what did you think of Homa getting a win that, who knows how to like kind of handicap it if it's like a good win or not, but a win's a win. So congrats to Max Homa, but any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where like a win's a win. You take it when you can get it, kind of thing. I think,
Yeah.
unfortunately, this win way more overshadowed by the PGA Tour going absolutely crazy over him and Justin Thomas and their respective wives going on safari, which is just cool because if you think about it, right, they have the unique opportunity to say, you know what, let's go down, let's play in this one golf tournament, and then all the
Yeah.
money we make from that is just going to pay for our vacation. You're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's a great luxury to have in life. But yeah, I mean, a win's a win. It's definitely not. I don't know how you handicap the field. I mean, a low level. Uh, I don't know, not PGA Tour level necessarily, maybe Corn Ferry low level, or maybe even a tick below that. You hop in like PGA Tour Canada. I don't know. The field strength necessarily doesn't matter in this retrospect because it never was a strong top to begin with. But yeah, as you said, a win's great. I really do like that picture of all the, I'd suppose, were the tournament volunteers like crowding around Homa, taking a picture with him lifting the trophy because everyone just looks so happy that they have the two, arguable faces of U.S. golf coming out and play in their national tournament. So yeah, overall, I mean, pretty cool if you ask me, because you don't really see Americans do that. You'll always see, John Rahm playing the Spanish swing on the European tour, or Rory going to Northern Ireland, or vice, or any number of Europeans going back to play the National Open. You never really see an American necessarily. Well, you see Americans, but not of the caliber of Justin Thomas or Max Homa going down to play there. So yeah, overall, pretty cool if you ask me. And I think the best golf story of the week was Camilo Villegas finally winning. It's been such a long run for him since he's just battling. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, I remember first getting into golf, and he was just always constantly, not necessarily playing insanely well, but just like a stalwart in terms of like the
Hmm.
2009 2010 era of golf. And unfortunately, he just kind of disappeared. Obviously, he's very much older now. The guy is fit as heck, jacked. Uh, he's not bad as an announcer. I think the accent is kind of funny to listen to. But yeah, I mean, you really can't draw up the form any better coming off of last week and then running right into this week at the Bermuda, um, and then also feeding off of the Camilo Villegas is the debut of the Bryan brothers. Who was it? Uh, it's not Wesley. Who's the second who made his
It's
PGA
George.
Tour debut?
George.
George. There we go.
George.
Yeah. So cool, very cool storylines for an off-brand, B-level field in the Bermuda Championship. So any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a good story. I think that for these low-level fall swing tournaments, you need like a good, story. I mean, I know Camilo like lost his daughter to brain cancer in 2020, so it was a really emotional kind of after the round being like life is giving me some great things, but like the process can kick like your butt. So kind of like it can beat you down, but you always have to get right back up. So I thought that was a great story. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I saw George and Wesley made the cut. I'm not sure who beat who. I know that like Golf Channel was trying to like get in that story, like who would beat, what brother would kind of beat the other. But I thought it was really interesting because Garrett Clark on the Good Good podcast was asked by maybe Matt Kendrick or Steve, but they posed a question of like, what is there a YouTube golfer that could make it on tour and like maybe make a cut or something? And Garrett said George is the only one, and then which I think that was pre-recorded like a couple of weeks ago. So, and he was right about that. So, I know that he like, made the cut. So that's a good story. For the Bryan brothers who, are big, golfers on like the internet and in the golf like YouTube space. So that was pretty cool. But before we hop into the next segment, I have a trivia question quickly about Homa.
Oh boy.
So it's from Kyle Porter. I'm not going to give credit to myself for this, but since January 1st, 2021, Homa has 6 worldwide wins. There is another golfer. There's 5 golfers with 6 or more besides Homa. Can you name the 5 off the bat quickly?
With 6 or more, since 2021, John Rahm is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty Scheffler should be in there. That should be 2.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a hint? I should know this. Who's been winning a lot?
I mean, they're all like big names.
No.
Yeah, Hovland's 1.
Hovland,
Yeah, Hovland's 1
Hovland's
because
3.
so I think they're counting the Hero World. 2 more.
Has Rory won 6? Since he has.
Yeah, he has 7.
So there's 4, of course.
And there's 1 more.
2 more. 1 more.
He had a good run last year.
He had a good run last year. Is he American or European? American.
He won a major.
He won a major. I should know this.
He won 2 of the 5 biggest tournaments on tour last year. We're a golf podcast, buddy. Come on.
I know. I know. Dang. Okay. Last year. Let's see.
I don't have to edit this clip now with all this.
Yeah, you gotta edit this out. This is going terribly. Who is it?
His name is Cam Smith. One of the players, and okay. On to the next.
That's good.
Why that out?
Cut
that
that
you
out.
look really smart and not.
Let's do it again. Wait, so the 5 are Cam Smith. Just name them all again. Throw it in there.
I mean, that would help me, to clip these for you. But
yeah,
let's move on to kind of what I think has been taking golf by storm the last couple of weeks. Is the TGL, as we spoke last podcast about, which is the simulator golf league that Tiger and Rory, TGR, or Tomorrow Sports kind
Tomorrow
of
Golf League.
founded.
Yeah.
So I want to start first with the Boston Common Golf Press Day. There's a press conference with Rory, Hatton, Keegan, Amscott, who joined Boston Common Golf. They kind of did a media day around Fenway Park, questions. I know Rory went on CNBC to talk about this golf league. So kind of what were your thoughts on the kind of the press day for Boston Common Golf?
Yeah, well, it seems like, well, first of all, the picture that they tweeted out with like all four bags in the locker and like the green in the
Hmm.
back was just pretty cool. Which is pretty cool. I wish subtly by some way it was all four Irishmen, but obviously that doesn't exist necessarily. So at least you got an Englishman in there, and then yeah, I mean you got an American and an Aussie. So what a cracker for for a
Yeah.
Boston Golf Club. Um, but anyway, yeah, it's the hype surrounding TGL is very unique. That a lot of people are excited about it, but there's no, at least in my eyes, no like serious opinions about this is gonna suck. It seems like it's more of the players want to want to do it. They're gonna have a lot of fun with it, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, it makes the players happy. It seems like something that they are so insanely positive about, and that very well be not fully true. But Rory going on CNBC, or the names, the Atlanta Drive or LA Golf Club. I mean, terrible names. Could be so much more creative out there. But yeah, it just seems like it's a very fun, inviting environment, totally tailored around trying to compete with other nationally popular sports. And I'll get into like some of the rules that they just announced, but it seems like just a total just shot in the dark. Hey, you know, a lot of casual golf fans think it's boring, can only watch the majors or something like that. Let's just try something new to try and draw in the younger crowd who likes action, who likes whatever. So as I said from the start, it's not perfect. It's not something that's ever going to replace the PGA Tour or anything like that. Not even close. Simulator golf and real golf are nowhere near the same things, but it just kind of goes back to the same thing. The entertainment value seems pretty unique, and it just kind of seems at the point. You know what? Screw it. See what happens. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think the team aspect's fun because you have like Keegan like in his presser like really cares about Boston. We all know his history with being from there, but like he actually
hmm
cares that he can finally be a part of some team, however you want to think about it, like a
sure.
Boston team. So like growing up as a kid as like a Pats fan, Bruins and Red Sox and Celtics, like he can finally say that. It kind of sounds corny, but some people care. You have Kyle Morikawa signed with LA Golf Club and said that this was like the most important call, even greater than like the
hmm
Ryder Cup, which had to be a joke, but like was very corny,
Terrible joke.
honestly. And
It was
then
a terrible joke. Yeah.
yeah, and then you have like so like he's from LA. I assume like maybe like a Max Homa will go to LA, which would be
hmm
cool. But I think it's just a fun thing, entertainment. It's not supposed to be like a really competitive type thing. I think it's just a fun entertainment thing for kids to watch, and try to grow the game, I guess. I mean, yeah, the names could be a little bit more creative, but if you want to get creative, then you're just making fun of like the Crushers Golf Club. Like it's like you can't really win with those names, but I think it's cool. I mean, we had the big news that Tiger and David Blitzer now own Jupiter Links Golf Club, so that's the final team in the TGL. Which I guess they couldn't find another owner. That Tiger's like, okay, I'll just own a team. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I guess we'll see who he pulls in. Maybe like a Ricky Fowler, maybe. He lives in Jupiter if you want to make those connections. So I feel like there's still a lot to be done in the next 2 months or a month and a half when this starts. Because like most players aren't even on teams, so I'm not sure like how they're doing it. Maybe they'll just like sign people like they have been doing, but I think it's been pretty interesting. I'm not sure if you saw, but Cam Young did like a sneak peek of the whole like
hmm
simulator, the bunker, the grass, like, and the putting greens. What were your kind of thoughts on that?
I mean, it looks pretty unique. And I keep on going back to my whole opinion on the TGL, where I know it's kind of deviating from your direct question, but you kind of look at the TGL like what the NFL does with Nickelodeon to an extent. They'll have one or two games a year, or they'll have the wild card game and just have like this crazy, slime in the end zones or whatnot. Just kind of this fun element that you never really see. Um, so that's kind of why I think it has, this entertainment value. But going back to like the Cam Young thing, I mean, yeah, it's definitely one of those things where, again, simulator golf is very different. You've never seen it televised to an extent. I mean, it's arguably more expensive than real golf, which is kind of funny to think about because simulators are so expensive, and just getting the equipment to actually have
Yeah.
them work well is crazy. So it does look cool. The initial setup does look very enticing. It's just all about what we're going to see from a TV perspective, I guess is the best way to put it. And just one other quick thought about like TGL, with the names being so like rudimentary, I actually think that could have been designed purposely so that they can sell merchandise. Because you look at, obviously, you can sell merchandise for any team name, but do you think the 60, 70-year-olds who play golf 7 days out of the week are going to wear something that has some outlandish name on it? No. But you look at something like Boston Drive or LA Golf Club, that's a pretty cool golf shirt or quarter zip that, people would just wear around casually at the golf course. So the entertainment value might be more tailored towards the younger people, the 20, 30, 40 year olds. But you can also throw out there any merchandise sales, because that's obviously what they'll sell, because they have to. If they're going to have owners, how else would they make money? Uh, the merchandise sales and the merchandise in general could be pretty cool. So that's a little caveat there.
Yeah. I mean, once all the teams get announced, I'm gonna pledge my allegiance to a team, buy like a T-shirt or
Sure.
something, and
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it.
just
We'll
become
pick
like
sides. I like it.
the super fan. Like I'm just gonna become a super
Yeah.
fan of what team. I mean, I think if like Fowler and JT are on a team, I might have to do that, but who knows?
Sure.
Definitely not Boston. Obviously, being from Philadelphia, we're not
For
gonna be
other
Boston
reasons.
fans.
Sure.
So Atlanta probably is the front runner with JT, but I think like Minwoo Lee is in this. I'm a big fan of
Mhm.
his social media. So maybe whatever team
Sure.
he goes to, I pledge my allegiance to. So maybe I'll like
Yeah.
post like the odds or something, and we'll do like a
Sure.
maybe I could like
Let's
buy
do
like
it.
I could buy like a hat of each and make like a video that I'm pledging my fandom, but that might be a little
Yes.
too
Yes.
uh
No,
much. But yeah,
it's worth it.
uh
Worth it.
we'll see. But the
Worth
last
it.
thing is that the rules. So a couple of rules that they came out with was a shot clock. So essentially, each player will have 40 seconds to hit their shot, and if they don't, it's a violation, and then it's a one-stroke penalty. In the triples session, each team gets two timeouts, and in singles they get two timeouts. And then they'll have a ref, just like any other sport. So they're kind of buying into the kind of the team golf and like make it relatable, easier to understand, I guess, from a kid's perspective, which I think is pretty cool. I hope for like the timeouts and stuff that like the players kind of like embrace it and kind of take it like kind of like seriously, or just like have like a fun thing like JT called a timeout and it's like, dude, like you really gotta like step it up, or like they gotta like embrace it. And I think for this to work, I think the players have to embrace it as much as possible. They have like the personalities to do it. I guess like the only one's probably like Spieth is like the only like personality that you would probably want, and Phil too, and Bryson, I guess, like the three that would probably strive in this. But I think it's cool. And to kind of recap this, they're doing a preview show, I think, like December 30th, and then the first um week is January 9th. So after the century, after the calendar flips. So I
Okay.
definitely have that on our calendar to kind of keep track of that.
Yeah.
But do you want to kind of transition us and talk about the Netflix Cup between Drive to Survive in the full swing stars. You want to kind of go through the teams and the whole like format?
Yeah, happy to. So as like a subtle F1 fan, kind of growing into it this year. So F1 in Vegas this week. The event is supposed to be fun. For those out there who don't know what F1 is, Formula One racing. Basically, tour around the world, race cars in whether it be through the streets of various European cities or just in general racetracks elsewhere that are shutting down the entire Las Vegas Strip and running that race on Saturday or Sunday morning. It's a very weird time schedule as they are catering solely to the European audience. So I think post time is like 1 in the morning or something on East Coast or 10 p.m. out there. And ticket sales, and it's Vegas. It's ridiculous. Like no one's buying it. They want thousands of dollars. So it could definitely flop. But F1 invested like 400 million and bought their own paddock in Vegas, so it's there for the future. Anyway, on to the next to the Netflix Cup. Excuse me. Starting on November 14th, so in 2 days' time, I believe it will be 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific is when it'll start. And it will be a matchup between four F1 drivers and four golfers. The pairings that have been announced so far, you have Lando Norris and Ricky Fowler, Carlos Sainz and Justin Thomas, Pierre Gasly and Colin Morikawa, and Alex Albon and Max Homa. Now, our format's going to be an 8-hole match play at the Wynn Golf Club in Las Vegas. It'll be a scramble, various challenges. Kind of feels like a subtle version of like the match where they'll bring in different athletes, but they've never done, drivers or athletes from the exact same sport. Um, so yeah, challenges throughout the matches. The two teams that win their first initial matches will face off in a playoff hole to decide the champion. The first matches will be Lando Norris and Ricky Fowler versus Carlos Sainz and Justin Thomas. And the second match will be Alex Albon and Max Homa versus Pierre Gasly and Morikawa. That's a lot, but I think the highlight of it all is who they have announcing it, and I absolutely love that you're teaming up Bert Kreischer, the machine, who better not be wearing a shirt when he's in the booth because that would just be hilarious. Joel Damon, one of the funniest PGA Tour players there is there. Kay Adams, a very good, a very great actually football personality, and just Marshawn Lynch because why not? Why wouldn't it be? So I think they have like an all-star commentary booth right there, and the best thing about it is outside of Joe Damon, not very knowledgeable in golf. So you're going to hear Marshawn Lynch throwing out who knows what. He'll probably be high off his ass, just enjoying life. Bert Kreischer probably laughing at everyone. I think it's more just the comedic value of it all, and can't wait to see the sphere in the back of the Wynn Golf Club. I hope they throw on, I don't know, something in the background to distract these people. But cool idea given the circumstance, because they're really hyping up the F1 race. So cool crossover between the two Netflix docu-series. I'm not sure if you have anything to add on everything I just said.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I mean, obviously we don't really know the F1 drivers, their golf ability, so it'll be kind of funny
So
if
I'll
they.
stop you really quick. The only notable golf ability that is, obviously they all play golf, but Carlos Sainz actually played in Rome this year at the All-Star Celebrity Match for the Ryder Cup.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there is some golfing ability. I play like Novak, Djokovic, and a couple other people. So experience playing in events like this a little bit, but I don't think the golfing ability is going to be very high.
I mean, I'm sure they're all golf fans that they agreed to do this.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think it'll be cool. I mean, they obviously put Fowler and Thomas on the same first match just to have, they're closer with like the banter, and then Homa and Morikawa, which I know Damon's close with Homa. So yeah, I think
Hmm.
like obviously like the golf will be funny. I think the commentary will kind of decide all of this, and they have some, professionals on the call and some non-professionals who haven't done these type of commentating. So I'm sure they'll have the green light to do anything since it's on Netflix, so I'm sure Bert probably can say whatever he wants. This is not, on like a TNT broadcast. So definitely interested in that. So I'm gonna give my prediction for this that
Sure.
it really matters, but I think I think Homa is gonna win this. I think he's gonna go 2 for 2, get
Okay.
another win. I think he's gonna. I feel like he really is gonna want to beat Colin, and then definitely want to beat Thomas in the championship again, and because I feel like he has like those like bragging rights that he kind of cares about off the course. So I think I'll be cheering for Max Homa to win this. Do you want to make a prediction?
I do. And I can almost guarantee you can somehow bet on this. So I have no knowledge of any odds if they exist at all.
Yeah,
But
same.
I think I think out of the four, I actually think Pierre Gasly and Colin Morikawa will win for the sole reason that you look at the four golfers, right? Ricky, gonna go out there, enjoy his time. Justin gonna go out there, enjoy his time. Same with Homa. Not saying Morikawa won't, but I think that Morikawa out of the four can easily like take it very seriously and equally have a very enjoyable time for some reason. I don't know why, but I think that he can definitely turn it on and might be more focused on honestly winning than having a good time at an extent. And when it's purely based on the quality of golf, uh, I think that's the easiest way to make a prediction in this scenario. So who knows? We'll see. It's with it being a scramble, it's crapshoot anyway. So really, it just matters what golfer plays well that day. It's only 8 holes, and
You
it'll
just
be
gotta make
funny to
putts.
see. Yeah, it'll be funny
During
to see
scrambles, you gotta
what
make putts.
contributions the F1 drivers have outside of driving the golf cart insanely fast and swerving around bunkers and something like that. I could see something stupid of there's a challenge.
Yeah,
I don't know what the challenges could be, but something driving based with the golf cart. So regardless, it's not centered around good golf, quality golf, or anything like that. It's just a very cool crossover thing that you sit back, have a few drinks, and just enjoy and hopefully laugh with the
yeah.
personalities announcing it. So
Well, I guess our two winners are in a matchup.
face off.
So
You
maybe
got it.
maybe we'll do a
You got
little
it.
fun wager. Although, so maybe we'll have to maybe decide on that after this or something, or maybe that counts towards our 2024 kind of our betting series that will
Yeah.
refresh and keep more of a tally on. So maybe that will maybe be like a tiebreaker. So if we get maybe tie or
Hmm.
something, it goes down to the Netflix Drive to Survive in
Yeah, I
full
like
swing.
that.
So definitely excited for that for Tuesday night. And our last kind of topic before we wrap up is honestly like an hour ago, an interview dropped with Rory and Shane Lowry with Sports Illustrated. And they kind of said their comments about the Ryder Cup, which I'll just read like one comment and get your thoughts on it. And trying to pull it up. Where is it? So I think so. Rory's talking about when Alex Cantlay holds his putt and Joe LaCava and everyone else is celebrating. So Rory says, "Right, I need to concentrate on this. I run my putt from behind the ball and then I go behind the hole. And as I'm walking back from the low side of my putt, Joe is right in my way. I say, Joe, can you move, please? And he's been waving his hat, and he says, we can celebrate too. I said, I don't give a F. If you celebrate, just do it over there. And I think that's when Shane Lowry and the boys started to chirp at him. So, nothing really new. I guess this is the first time Rory's kind of saying this out loud post the Ryder Cup week. And he said some other comments about Bones and how he kind of like apologized to Bones when after like the car scene because like his Bones' wife was there, so like that wasn't like his finest moment. But kind of what are your kind of thoughts on this? I feel like there's really no surprises, but
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the whole thing of, it's kind of funny, first of all, that the biggest controversy in the past like month is about a caddy standing behind someone as they read a putt. It's just kind of funny. Uh,
yeah,
but anyway, it's like it's the Ryder Cup. Like I honestly don't mind it at all. Like, yes, if you want to look at it holistically, Joey was in the wrong. There's really no denying that he, you know, shouldn't have been in that position. But at the same time, what's a Ryder Cup without that emotion? You know, if it's kind of the same thing if you look at sports where they're trying to take the fun out of the game. You know, the NFL, the no fun league, you get fined for, you know, doing a basic form tackle. That's $20,000 out of
Yeah.
the bank account. So like the Ryder Cup is designed to have these, you know, very intense, emotional, fiery moments, and that's just the coined one from the 2023 Ryder Cup. So I'm all for things like that. Obviously, you know, you want to keep, you know, the sportsmanship and the integrity and the honesty and whatever you want to say about golf because that's what makes it great. But at the same time, with an event that is so competitive and so, you know, leading on the balance, stuff like this happens. So nothing new. All, you know, kind of heard, you know, every single angle. I just think it's one of those things where, well, it happened. Enjoy, you know, got in the moment, he made a mistake, but in the grand scheme of things, you know, would you want to have a Ryder Cup without those fiery moments? I think most people would say no. So,
I mean, did Joe LaCava make a mistake? Yes.
yeah,
Should he have done that? I mean, I honestly don't have a problem with him doing that, honestly. Like,
neither do I. Neither do I at all.
like the Europeans, like Shane Lowry is just running around like the green, like celebrating when like Hovland made
Yeah.
that putt and stuff. And I'm like, it goes either way. Like, they're also celebrating. Rory, take a step back and just let everything happen and then do like your thing. I thought Rory kind of rushed the process because he wanted it all to end. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I think they're both in like the wrong after, and Rory just like yelling at Bones is just like the fiery, and like golf needs that. We
Yeah,
haven't
of
had this
course it
since
does.
Bryson and Brooks,
Hmm.
when they had that whole like fiasco and stuff. So
Yeah.
no, it's great. It only gives more fire for 2025
Hmm.
at Bethpage, so definitely looking forward to that and stuff. But yeah, that's all we have for today's episode. Um, Definitely, you know, with the coming calendar, I know like the holidays kind of make it hard, but soon enough we'll have the Hero World Challenge after Thanksgiving, then the
Hmm.
Grant Thornton Invitational, which is the LPGA PGA
Hmm.
tournament, and then the PNC Championship, and then we have Christmas, and then the season is here. So
Yeah.
a lot to look forward to, and honestly, in December, a lot to talk about with kind of these team challenges, and a lot of Tiger talk. We're gonna have even more
We
Tiger
got
talk.
it.
Does he play in like the Hero World Challenge? He'll play in the PNC with Charlie. Charlie's out there playing. You know, Tiger's on like his
Hmm.
back, which we didn't even get to. That, you know, apparently he's looking good. Um, when he was caddying for Charlie. So there's a lot of stuff, honestly, that we have to talk about in the next month or so before the calendar flips.
Yeah. And I'll throw this in here before we wrap it up. The Bunker Bunker podcast has officially gone global for the sole reason that we now have a fan base here in Spain. For all you out there who don't really know why I keep on moving around, I'm currently living in the country of Spain, working a contract job with the government here, teaching English at an adult school. And I started this about a month ago. I did an introduction, you know, hi, I'm Ethan. Here's all my background. Here's what I do in my free time, yada, yada, yada. And last week, one of my students, and I teach adults right now, so they range from like recent college graduates to like retired people. And he raises his hand and goes, "What's a fairway finder?" I thought to myself, I go, "Oh, so a fairway finder is, you know, when you take like a 3 iron or a hybrid or something, you hit it in the middle of the fairway." And he goes, "But you said it on the podcast." I was like, "Oh." So it turns out that most of my students actually listen to us out there. So glad to hear that we actually have started developing a little fan base out here. And that was a cool, wholesome moment to hear that we are now being recognized. So bring a smile to your face. We're going global, and we're just getting started. So exciting
I'm
times
I'm
ahead, as you said. Yeah.
I'm sure they're like that jabroni Josh is just a clown on the podcast.
Oh,
I'm sure they're saying that
You
in like
don't want to
Spanish.
know what they said about you. You don't want to know what they said about you. I mean, it was just they were ruthless.
I know. They're
I had
like,
to
dude, that
calm them
man
down a
just
little bit.
he just keeps betting, Hovland to win the BMW, the Tour Championship. I mean, he's just printing money. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was with a one of my friends, Jake, who is a
Uh-huh.
listener to the pod from home. It was like his birthday Friday night, so I went over to his place and a bunch of his high school friends who I grew up with them too. Not in like the same group, but like still very friendly. And basically the whole pregame they were talking about, my stuff on Twitter and how a couple of them saw that I had some bets with Hovland and stuff, and so we got some people, we got people watching. So
We're global. We're global.
as
You got it.
uh as Stu Feiner says, like and subscribe.
I like that. On that note, we're gonna do it. You're gonna like, you're gonna subscribe, you're gonna listen to the next episode. See ya.